Diwali. Was it good? It was nice, right? You still remember what we have discussed, what sessions we had taken, and the topic that we had discussed before Diwali? Anyone remembers what was the last topic that we discussed before we left for our holidays? Yes, Kirti?
Mom, it was yoga.
Yes, we had discussed about yoga. Remember? It was about the types of path that we have to reach moksha. Remember? Right? So we will take a quick revision also, okay, before we begin with today's session. But before that, like we do every time, we will do a quick round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, okay? So all of you can close your eyes, okay? And those who want to do it with the beads, you can also take out your beads and do that, okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Okay, so you can open your eyes, everyone. Now we'll begin with today's session, okay? And everyone, you can switch on your videos. Ram, Krishna, Siddhika, Kriti, all of you can switch on your videos, okay? Okay. So yes, now I'll ask you all, we'll take a quick recap, okay, of the previous session. And like we do the revision every time, we do it with question and answers, okay? So like Kirti already told that our topic for the previous session was yoga, okay? We had discussed about the types of path which we can follow to attain moksha. So who can tell me that how many types of yoga are there? And no, first tell me what is yoga? Who can tell me what is yoga? Yes, Lakshita. One more. Lakshita, did you raise your hand? Is anyone's hand raised? Who can tell me what is yoga? Ram Krishna command. Okay. Yes, Ram Krishna.
Connection to the Supreme.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Connection to the Supreme.
Yes, that's correct. So there's a difference between yoga and yoga, right? Yoga, it's a very universal term. It's a bigger term, which means union with the supreme, connection with the supreme soul. And what is yoga? Yoga is basically it's related to the physical, okay, physical fitness, that we do the different yoga asanas, which you have your Sunday classes also, right? That is yoga, okay. And then now who will tell me the different types of yoga that we had discussed? Atharv, you know the different types of yoga?
I know two.
Okay, name them.
Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga.
Okay, Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. Who can help Atharv with the third name? There was one more type. Okay, yes, Lakshita, your hand is raised this time. You can say the third name.
Dhyan Yoga, ma'am.
Yes. So can you describe in brief all the three types of yoga?
Yeah, karma yoga is nothing but the yoga which we has been done by karma. There are three types and there are another three types of karma yoga.
Okay. Okay, now someone else will tell me that the three types of karma yoga.
Karma kanda.
Yes. No, someone else. Someone new will answer this. Who can answer? Yes, Anaga. Say.
Karma kanda.
Hmm. Then,
I only know one.
okay. The other two. Okay, you can complete that. Say, Lakshita.
Sakam yoga.
It's pronounced as Sakam. Sakam Karm. And the last one?
Nishkam karma yoga.
Yes, that's correct. So, Karma Yoga, what's that? It's just a selfless action which is performed for the benefit of others. Remember how I told you to remember it? That karma, it means action. Okay. So, any kind of yoga, any kind of activity that you perform, okay, that falls under Karma Yoga. Okay. And that has three different types. It has Karma Kand, Sakam Karma Yoga, and Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay. Karm Kand, what was that? It means doing those activities which are prescribed in your Vedas. Okay. And Sakam, which it is also prescribed in the Vedas, but this we do what? We have a motive behind. We do it in order to enjoy the fruitful activities. And the third type that we had, which was the Nishkam Karm Yoga, it means the desire to give that result, okay, those fruitful activities that we receive from our actions. We have this desire that we will offer that to God. Okay. Now, we also discussed second type of yoga, that was Dhyan Yoga. So what was Dhyan Yoga? Can anyone tell me? What is Dhyan Yoga? Quickly. Yes, Sai Charan. You can also raise your hands like properly, okay? Like using this Zoom icon there so that I can see. Yes, say, Sai Charan.
I'm doing meditation.
Doing meditation. Okay, it's you can say that way that we uh, we have to do meditation, but it also had 8 limbs. Remember, Dhyan Yoga. It's also known as Ashtang Yoga, and it has 8 limbs. Do you remember the names of those 8 limbs? Okay, I will quickly revise that for all of you. So we had the first limb, which is the yam, okay, which is what? Which means following your moral principles. Then we had niyama, which means principles and rules. Then we have asan, remember?
Niyama.
Yes. And then after asana, we had pranayam, which is your breathing exercise. Then we had pratyayara, which means to control your senses and mind. Then dharana, which is trying to focus your mind to God. Dhyan, which is focus. And finally, the last limb, it is samadhi. Okay. So all of us is like all revised what we had discussed in the previous session. And today we will be discussing the third type, which is the Bhakti Marg, okay? The Bhakti Yoga. This is what we will discuss in today's session. So all of you are ready for that, right? If you have any doubts with the previous session also, then we will take that in the end, okay? Now I will share my screen and just let me know if my screen is visible. Yeah. Is my screen visible to everyone? So now before we begin with this, okay, what is Bhakti Yoga? Like, can you just share with me what you know, whatever little bit you know about Bhakti? What is Bhakti according to you? Anyone wants to try? That what do you understand by this term, when you hear the term Bhakti? Yes, Anaka. Say.
Bhakti means respecting teachers.
Okay, respecting teachers. Okay. Kirti, what is bhakti according to you?
Bhakti means devotion.
Okay. And whose hand is raised? Yes, Ram Krishna.
Bhakti means devotional service to Krishna and surrendering to Krishna.
Okay. So, a rough idea. Yes, you all have a rough idea.
Ma'am doing puja.
Yes, doing puja also comes under bhakti. So, all of
Ma'am,
you.
do you know this? I made a small bottle. We can squish it up.
Okay, that's very nice.
We
Okay.
squish it up like this. It goes up and it goes in.
All right, that's very nice.
That's on my own.
Okay, you're very creative, Siddhika. Okay, so we all have a brief idea now. Okay, what is bhakti? It is, you are correct here. It is devotion. Okay, it means that we have this selfless desire that we want to serve God. Okay, that is bhakti. Now, Bhakti Yoga, it's also known as Bhakti Mark. Okay, what is Mark? What is the meaning of Mark? It means path. Okay, path to what? Path to moksha. Remember moksha session? What is moksha? That is liberation, right? So how will we attain moksha? So we have three paths. We already discussed the karma path, okay, the karma mark, then the dhyan yoga. Now we have bhakti yoga, which is also known as bhakti mark. It is a spiritual path or spiritual practice within Hinduism focused on loving devotion towards any personal deity. Okay, deity means God. Okay. Now, bhakti, okay, it also has types. Okay, it has these stages of bhakti. Okay, so the first that we have, it's known as Shravanam. Okay, it refers to hearing the transcendental descriptions of Bhagwan's name, forms, qualities, pastimes, and associates from the mouth of advanced devotees. So, what is Shravanam? It simply means listening. Now, an example of this, okay, you can also, you all do Shravanam. You know, in what way? You have your Katha sessions, right? You all of you attend your katha sessions. So that is a kind of shravanam. It only, what does it mean? It means hearing about God, listening about God, then listening about his activities, whatever, what was his pastime activities, how the childhood was spent, and certain episodes in the life of God. Okay, that is shravanam. Simply listening about God. An example of this, we have Parikshit. You know Parikshit Maharaj, the grandson of Arjun. Okay, so he is an example of this, of that he followed this mark, Shravanam. Okay, and we all do this. You all also, in a way, you do Shravanam. You have already started Shravanam. You all attend your Katha classes. You listen to Bhagavad Gita. So this is a form of Shravanam. Okay. Then next we have, it is known as Kirtanam, which is means singing the name and the glory of the Lord through hymns. That is chanting. So we all do this also, right? Those who do chanting and who follow this, you already follow the second type, which is known as Kirtanam. And an example of this we have is Narad Muni, okay, and Sukdev Goswami, son of Vyasdev. These are two examples of Kirtanam. Okay. Next, apart from Kirtanam, we also have Smaranam, which means it is one of the 5 forms of bhakti where the devotee constantly remembers the name and the form of the Lord. So, constantly remembering, like, whatever activity you're doing throughout the day, be it, you're going out with your parents, you're going to school, but at the back of your mind, you have this little bit remembrance of God. Somewhere you remember God every time throughout your day. That is known as Smaranam. Okay. And an example of this is Shabri, Prahlad, okay, Prahlad Maharaj also. So these devotees, what they would do, they had this remembrance of God throughout the day, not like just in the morning before going, after waking up, or before you are giving your exam, you pray to God. It's not like at intervals of time. It is throughout, okay, constantly it is there. Till now, all of you are following the types. These are the forms of bhakti, okay, what we're discussing right now. Now, the fourth form is known as Padasevanam, which means to serve, giving service, rendering service to the lotus feet of the Lord, just like devotees do. They bring flowers, tulasi, and offer to the lotus feet of the God. Okay, so like you can see in the picture here, this is an example of goddess Lakshmi. Goddess Lakshmi, she's an example why she had this, she would serve the lotus feet of Lord. You can see in the picture here also, she is serving him. So this is known as Padasevanam. Okay. Then we have Archana, which is a type of bhakti yoga, the yoga of the love and devotion, which refers to worship through rituals such as puja or fire offering. Okay, Archana also you can say this. And an example of this is Prithu Maharaj. So when you do pujas, you can see your mothers also, they do puja at home. So under which form this falls? This forms under Archana. Okay. Then we have Vandanam, which means worshipping through prayers. Now, when you pray to God, okay, and yeah, it is very simple to understand. Just praying to God, this falls under which form? It is under Vandanam. And an example of this also we have here in this picture, it is Akrura. Okay, he is the example of this form of bhakti. Now, the next form of bhakti here, the seventh form, okay, the second last form, it is known as Dhyasam. Okay. Now, Dasyam, okay, so now Dhyasam is Dasyam, which is to consider oneself as a slave of the Lord requires an attitude of humility to the Lord. Humility can be developed only when the ego or the I is decimated. Humility will bring about an attitude of total surrender in a bhakta. Total surrender is the ideal of a dasya bhakti, as the bhakta has nothing to lose by giving up everything for the Lord and has only to gain everything by serving God or his various forms. Now, dasyam, what is dasyam? When you completely serve God, like I want to serve you. So, an example of this is Lord Hanuman. Like Lord Hanuman, to Ram, we would see that to Lord Ram, he was like a sevak. Every little thing he wanted to do, he was like a dasyam. Now, we sometimes when we hear the term dasyam, we think like, why should I be someone's servant? But that is the whole point. What happens when a person is in this dasyam form of bhakti, the attitude, the this requires, the ego is completely demolished. The meaning of decimated here is that it's completely demolished, it's completely destroyed. There is no ego in the person. Now, when a person does not have ego, then only a person will agree to become someone's servant, right? Or else everyone will be like, why should I become someone's servant? Why should I? That I factor has to go away. So this is the dasyam form, wherein someone is ready to become God's servant and be available for God's service every time. Okay, like Hanumanji, he never had this ego in him that why should I do this for Lord Ram. Even every small activity, even if it is to uh, carry Lord Ram on his shoulders, or any activity, be it small or big, all it meant for him was to serve Lord Ram. So if that kind of devotion is developed, that forms under dasyam. Okay, so the main line here, which you should understand, that it can only be developed when the ego or the I factor is decimated. It will bring in humility. They don't have this factor in them that why should I become God's servant? Okay. And then we have Sakhyam. Sakhyam, this is the eighth form of bhakti, which means being a well wisher of Krishna. Krishna wants everyone to surrender onto him because everyone is constitutionally his servant. Okay. Therefore, as a sincere friend of Krishna, one should preach this philosophy, requesting everyone to surrender unto Krishna. So, Sakhyam, it comes from the word sakha, and sakha means friend. Okay, so you can also serve God as a friend. You can be like, God is my friend. Like all of you, if you have watched this movie, My Friend Ganesha, even there, the child was Ganesha's friend. So there is no harm in worshipping God as a friend also. If you see God as a friend, so that is fine. And that forms under Sakhyam Bhakti. Okay. So an example of this is Arjuna. Arjuna was also his friend, right? They used to every time they used to be together, they used to discuss many things together like friends. And Sudama also. Sudama is also a very good example of God's friend. Okay. So this is the eighth form of bhakti. And in this one, when you are in this form, what happened? You should try to preach this philosophy, requesting everyone to surrender. Like what we are doing, preaching means telling others also to do this. Okay. Spreading this knowledge. That is known as preaching. Okay. And the ninth form is Atma Nivedana, which means self offering or self dedication. The limb of devotion entails offering one's entire being to Bhagwan, beginning from the body up to the pure self. It is characterized by an absence of striving for one's own self, the offering of all one's practices and attainments to Bhagavan, and the concentration of one's endeavors exclusively for Bhagwan. So, did you understand this? What I just read out? Atma Nivedan, it means offering your own self to God. Okay, like we offer fruits, we offer prasad, that is a kind of offering. But Atma here means own self. You are offering your own self. Like, see here, Bali Maharaj, he offered himself to God. He's like, I am yours now. Whatever you want to do through me, you can do. Okay, so this is known as Atma Nivedam. Okay, so we should understand that constitutionally, like it was mentioned here, I think, yes, it was mentioned here, right? That constitutionally we are God's servant. Okay, but still God has given us this, choice that in whichever form you want to do my bhakti, you can still do. If you do not want to do in the form of servant, also it's fine. Okay, so we are a part of Him. Like we should always strive to serve Him. Now I will explain this to you with an example. Okay, now see, you all have your own whole body, right? Now if your hand, you have your hands, you have your eyes, you have your nose. Now if your hand, okay, now you want to eat food, what do? Your hand takes the food, it takes it towards the mouth, your mouth, okay, your teeth and everything, your everything is involved, it chews the food, then it goes to your stomach. Your entire organs, all your body parts, when it is working in coordination, then only you are functioning properly, right? Now suddenly one day your hand will say that no, why should I work for, if I am, I am Ridhi, then why should I work for Ridhi? Or if I am Kirti, why should I work for Kirti? I am hand, I am my own individuality. Then it will create a problem, right? Even if your eyes start thinking that way, your stomach, they do not work in coordination. So they are serving you, right? So that's why you are functioning properly. So in the same way, we are also a part of God. Okay. So our duty we should have this, this feeling or devotion in us that we should serve God. It is not a small feeling or it is nothing bad. It is a very, to serve God, it is actually to develop this feeling, it is a very pure feeling. Okay, so you can do that in any of the forms. Now God has given us so many choices. Okay, I will give a quick revision because these names are a little tough to remember, right? So I will discuss all the 8 forms again. Okay, and then we will take the doubts. Okay, so, first of all, we discussed what is Bhakti Yoga. Okay, you know what is Bhakti Yoga? It is a spiritual path or spiritual practice focused on loving devotion. So, whenever you hear the term Bhakti, just remember devotion. Then you will understand. Okay, and there are forms of devotions. Okay, first we have Shravanam. Shravanam, what does it mean? It means hearing the transcendental descriptions of Bhagwan. Meaning, if in simple terms you can write hearing about God, listening about God, listening to His stories, katha sessions and all. Okay, example Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, then Kirtanam. Kirtanam means second form is singing the name and the glory of Lord Krishna. Okay, chanting, this is a form of Kirtanam. Example Narad Muni, Sukhdev. Okay, then we have third form Smaranam, which means it means where we constantly remember the name of God, constantly remembering God. Okay, this is Smaranam. Till you have followed? Okay. Then we have Padasevanam, which means we are serving the lotus feet of God. Okay. And example is Goddess Lakshmi. Then we have Archana, which means it refers to worship through rituals such as puja or fire offerings. Okay. And example is Prithu Maharaj. Then we have yes, this is also another example. Then we have dasyam, which is the seventh form, which means that we serve God, okay, as a bhakt and as a dasyam. This is serving God. To surrender is the ideal of dasyam bhakti, as a bhakta has nothing to lose, okay. And if you have completely surrendered yourself to God, you have nothing to lose by giving up everything to the Lord, okay. Next is Sakhyam, which is being a well-wisher of Krishna and to surrender unto him because everyone is constantly as his servant. So basically, Sakhyam, you can understand friend. to see God as a friend, my own friend. And lastly, we discussed the last form is Atmanivedanam, that is surrendering or self-offering yourself. You offer yourself as to God or self-dedication. Okay. So these were the 9 forms. And if it's clear, this is, yeah, this is all we had to discuss only. This is a very small, nothing much to discuss. Now we can take the doubts. Okay. We'll start with Ram Krishna. You can switch on your video also, Ram Krishna, so that I can see you. Yes, ask your question.
My doubt is you say that about hearing that after hearing we can do like for example Parikshit Mandava. Some people after hearing answer they did say that you are telling that there is no God after hearing also. Some people say.
Yes, that's correct. Many people, even after listening to God, about listening to his sessions, they do not believe in his existence. So they should continue doing it. Now this is like, see, God has always given a personal choice. He has never forced anyone that you should serve me or you should come after my devotion. It is a personal choice. Okay. From your end, you should always try that you should preach about God. Okay. To people. Now to follow that path, it is their personal decision. Okay. And if they will have that awakening in them, then they will follow it by themselves. You don't have to force them. Okay. It will come from them, and personally only, that enlightenment, that realization, no, it will be their own self. So from your end, don't force them. You do your part. Your path is to preach, to tell them, and leave the rest to God. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Next, any doubt? Yes. Kirti. Wait one moment, Kirti.
Ma'am, I have doubt in Smaranam and Archana.
Yes, ask.
So, what's the meaning of these two?
Okay, see, smaranam. Okay, I'll read this out. Smaranam, when we see the word, no, it comes from the word smaran. Smaran means to remember. Okay, it's a Sanskrit term. It means just to remember something. Suppose if we forget something, no, then in Sanskrit, if you have watched these sans in the old serials, they say smaran karo, means yaad karo, or to remember something. So in smaranam, what happens? A devotee has this constant remembrance of God. Now, see, for example, now if you really like something, okay, now if you really want something, suppose you want a particular kind of dress, okay, you saw that in the mall and you want that kind of dress. Now you did not get that dress, okay, I really like that dress. It's the color is blue, it will suit me, it's light blue color. So whole day you're thinking about that dress. Why? Because you want that, right? Even while you're eating, you're thinking about the dress. You're sleeping, before sleeping, you're thinking about the dress. In school also. So that is kind of smarana. Now the same kind of want, right, that same kind of devotion you should have for God, that constantly you want him. You if you constantly have this, that I have this devotion for God, you will have his remembrance throughout the day, like you have the remembrance for the dress. So we just have to shift our wants from these materialist things, like this dress is a very small example I gave you. So in that way you will have, that is smarana, to remember God throughout the day. Okay. And what else? One more you had doubt, right? Archana? Is this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now this is puja. It is very simple. The normal pujas that we do, right? In your family also, your mother or your elders, they might do puja, right? No, that we do. We at in the evening time we do aarti. Even this, we do deep dan after session at 7 p.m. You will do today also. So that also comes under this. Okay. That we are doing puja to God. We're doing some offerings to God, fire offering. That comes under archana. Okay. Different deities have different kind of pujas, so that comes under archana only. Okay. Any other doubts?
No, ma'am.
Or anyone wants me to repeat any part, any portion, or you can ask me doubts from previous session also, since it has been so many days, right? Dhyan yoga, and we had karma yoga also. Yes, Ram Krishna.
Madam, I don't have doubt. I want to tell that when some people went to birthday parties or function, they forgot the God. They do not do smaranam.
That's correct. We do forget, and the reason why we are here this is Bhautik Jagat, right? So the reason why we have come here is because at some level we all forgot, we did forget, or we had this, we have come here so that we can go back to a spiritual world. So some has forgotten completely, some have remembered, but we all are in, some level we have forgotten. So you should not judge them that they have forgotten, so they are bad people. Like, from your end you are doing devotion of God, which is very good, and you should continue that. But if someone is not doing now, from your end you tell them that you should be doing. But if they want to do or they do not want to do now, let them decide. Do not judge them or do not force them, okay? And do not look down also upon them, because at the end we all are souls, right? So even one day when they will have their realization, when it is their time to have devotion for God, they will also have that devotion, okay?
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Anyone else wants to share anything, or anything also? Because we have time, so you can. Okay. So now I will just ask you a few questions since we have time, so that we can revise today's session. So now tell me that how many forms of bhakti yoga are there? Shraddha, you will tell me. Okay. Where is Shraddha's name? Yes. Shraddha, how many forms of bhakti yoga are there?
9.
Yes, very good. There are 9 types of bhakti yoga. Okay. Now, Siddhika. Siddhika, you listening? Tell me which is the form of yoga, which is the form of bhakti yoga wherein the person completely serves God. Okay. An example was Lord Hanuman. Which form of bhakti was that?
Yes.
Which form of bhakti? Okay. We had example Lord Hanuman, and it is a form of bhakti wherein you completely serve God like a servant. Dasyam, remember? Remember, say Dasyam Bhakti. Can you pronounce that?
Dasyam Bhakti.
Yes. Okay. And how many forms of bhakti are there?
8.
There are 9. Okay. 9 forms of bhakti. Okay. Okay then. Okay. I hope all of you understood today's session, right? All right, then now you will have your Deep dance session also. Okay, Kartik Man Deep session from 7 p.m. Join that. And we will also meet again, okay, in the next session with a new topic. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can also ask in the next session, and keep, revising whatever, because we are learning new things with every upcoming session. And you don't have only Bhagavad Gita, you have other sessions also, right? So it should not get confused. So keep revising, and all of you are enjoying these sessions, learning about Krishna. Honestly, you can tell me, is it something nice? You're learning something new, it's adding value to your life? You're liking it, right? It's not like mummy papa tells me to join the session, so I will join. You join it with your own will, right? You liking it? Okay, that's very nice then. Okay, very nice. Hari bol. So we will meet again for the Bhagavad Gita session on Friday with a new topic. You can continue with your upcoming sessions. Okay. Hare Krishna. Bye bye, everyone.